What's up, guys? Welcome back to the VeVe Vault. Today I'm going to talk about something I'm very excited about, and that's sports and VeVe. Some sports NFTs, football, baseball, basketball. Who knows what's going to be coming to the app first, but we do know that we already have the NFL Players Association, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys a couple tricks I've been doing to make a little bit of extra gems on the marketplace. Maybe you can pick up a couple of them and make some yourself, so check it out. Alright, so one thing I do every once in a while that I've mentioned before is go into the store and check the serial numbers of items that are not already sold, that are still available, not sold out yet. And yesterday I picked up a cat girl, and it had the serial number 8088 for a retail price of $49.99. A lot of people wouldn't think that that's one that you should pick up, but it actually is one that I figured would sell pretty fast if I set it at $58.88, which is where I put it at. And I had no problem selling that pretty quick, so that's like an $8 profit, and all I did was check the store every once in a while, and sooner or later something nice popped up. I've also had a lot of luck picking up these no-tech boards for retail price or anything under $14 and then selling them back for $14.98. Seems like the floor goes up to about $15 every once in a while, and if you're getting them at $13 or $13.50, you're always making at least $1, and it's pretty simple and pretty fast. I've probably sold at least 6 or 7 of those myself. The auctions are working again. They're back in the right order whenever you click on the auction tab, so I've been trying to use those a little bit to my advantage. The first thing I do when I see something that looks like it might be a good deal is click on the button to show what's in the store already and check the floor price. In this case, the Labbit floor price was at $69 and the high bid was $53. Now you can see here there's a glitch here where it starts you off at the wrong number every time, so you have to go in there and manually change it yourself, which comes into play whenever you're getting down to the last seconds and you're trying to snipe something. So I have been able to time it where whenever it changes from minutes left in the auction to seconds left in the auction, that there's 30 seconds left. So in this case I got this for, looks like $61.10, and I believe I sold it back for $69. So that's a nice little $5 or $6 profit just by checking the marketplace and checking the auctions. I also was keeping an eye on somebody who kept putting their Gillum March Harley Quinn lower and lower. Is $295, $290, $285, and then when they hit $282, I went ahead and picked that up. I think the floor right now is $310, so that should be another easy 20 or 30 gem flip. So on a recent AMA with VeVe officials, somebody brought up sports, and they went on for about 10 minutes talking about how great it is going to be whenever we finally get some of these sports NFTs on the app. Now, we already know that the NFL Players Association is signed with VeVe, and some people are wondering what kind of NFTs those will bring. Some people think there might be like the Top Shot NFTs where you have moments from the past and you get a clip of a moment like you do on Top Shot. But actually, if you look at some of the app pictures from the past that have been released, you can see right here the type of figurines that we're probably going to get in the future. So if you look closely at the picture used in this example and you do a little research on it, you can see that it's a figurine of Marshawn Lynch, a former running back who's probably a future Hall of Famer, and that it was done by Todd McFarlane, who, of course, we all know did the Batman, the first Batman on the app. Now, it might be a little bit embarrassing to admit, but when I first joined VeVe and people were talking about the Todd McFarlane Batman, I didn't know that Todd McFarlane even had anything to do with Batman or Spawn or comic books in general. I've always known Todd McFarlane as the creator of the McFarlane figurines that you can find in any baseball card shop you go into. I know the local baseball card shop where I worked when I was a kid and a little bit part-time after college, they always had a wall full of McFarlane figurines, and we had certain guys who were known as McFarlane collectors who would just come in there and buy, Hall of Fame baseball or football guys, the guys that they collected, at once a week or twice a week. So it's a really big genre of collectibles when it comes to physical collecting, especially in the sports world. They're all McFarlane figures. They're all made by Todd McFarlane. So it's going to be exciting to see more of his work come into the future. Now the question is, with the NFL Players Association, are we going to get figurines of current players like Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady? Or are we going to get Hall of Famers like Jerry Rice and Joe Montana? So I think it's going to be a little bit of both, and I want people to understand that in the physical baseball and football and basketball card collecting world, that the aim is always to get Hall of Famers, whether it be in the past or the present, people that you think are going to be in the Hall of Fame in the future. You're always trying to find a Hall of Fame players. And I know that the McFarlane figurines have a very popular collection called the Cooperstown Collection, and it's of all sports, and it's of Hall of Fame players as well. So whenever these come out and we start collecting these, we're going to be looking for guys who are either in the Hall of Fame or on their way to the Hall of Fame. Also, an important aspect when it comes to collecting sports cards with serial numbers is looking for serial numbers with the jersey number. This is going to be interesting here because we know that VeVe takes the first 40 editions of every NFT, and that's probably going to cut out at least 85% of the jersey numbers of the players that would be on those NFTs. So if that's the case, then that might not be as big of a factor. But when you look at people that you might want to go for at the beginning of a drop, you could think about maybe going for somebody whose jersey number is higher than 40 so that you have a chance of actually getting that jersey number, which is going to be worth a ton. Another interesting concept when it comes to sports NFTs coming to VeVe, and something that they've mentioned themselves in AMAs in the past, are autographs on NFTs. And something that a lot of people don't know about, but I've mentioned before on my channel, is a new website called autograph.io, which is a new NFT project that's head up by Tom Brady himself. And the idea here is to take your NFT and have it sent over to the famous person. For example, if it's an NFT of a famous football player, maybe Marshawn Lynch, that you would send that NFT to Marshawn Lynch himself, then he would send it back to you, and that would actually add his digital fingerprint onto your NFT, and that would be kind of like an autograph. As me personally, I've collected autographs for a while now. That's one of my favorite things to collect. So I think this is a very cool concept, and putting that together with NFTs of sports players on VeVe would be pretty awesome to me. Alright guys, that's all I got for you today, but I do want to show you one more thing that if you haven't seen it already, most of you probably have, and that's Bud Thompson's spreadsheet, and more importantly, the portfolio calculator that he's created. I just entered all of my NFTs into his portfolio calculator the other day to see what my total was. It came out to about 6,000. It doesn't account for low serials though, which I don't have many of, but I do have a sub 200 Pride poster, so I think that's probably double the regular price at least. So what you want to do here is, and I'll put the link in the profile for you, is go to his spreadsheet, and then down at the bottom there's several tabs, and you click on any one of those portfolio calculators. You have to keep in mind that anybody can be editing this file at the same time as you. That's why he has several of them. So if you see somebody working in it, then you want to go to a different one, pick your own one. I usually clear them all out to 0, and then I just go in and put how many of each one I have. And when you get done, you can go over to this column right here, and you'll see the total value of your VeVe collection. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a great week, and have a great drop on Thursday. See you then. Bye-bye.